The cameras weren't supposed to be rolling. Backstage confrontations are rarely seen by fans, and when they are, they're usually scripted segments. But what unfolded between Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins behind the curtain has become one of the most talked about incidents in recent WWE history. Sources close to the situation describe it as raw, emotional, and unlike anything the company has ever witnessed before. Sparks fly over legal tensions. According to insiders, the spark that ignited this confrontation involved legal documents tied to their ongoing personal struggles. Reports suggest that Becky reacted with visible shock and frustration, interpreting the paperwork as a potential threat to her role as both a performer and a mother. For someone who has built her reputation on resilience and independence, the idea of being sidelined in any area of life struck deeply. A verbal confrontation turns personal. When Seth approached Becky in what sources describe as an attempt to discuss matters privately, the conversation quickly spiraled into something much bigger. Witnesses say Becky, who has always maintained a calm front publicly, finally let her emotions surface. Her words reportedly came out like a firestorm, reminding many veterans of the intensity of her most legendary promos. Only this time, it wasn't for television. It was her real life. Accusations of career undermining. Perhaps the most stunning claim made during the confrontation was Becky's belief that her career had been intentionally overshadowed. Multiple insiders say she accused Seth of ensuring her storylines were secondary to his own championship pursuits. The idea that WWE's most decorated female star might have been sidelined in favor of her husband's spotlight is a revelation that left colleagues stunned. The trust question. One of the most painful accusations reportedly revolved around broken trust. Sources allege Becky felt private moments from their relationship were being used to influence creative decisions. Whether those claims hold weight or not, the very suggestion highlights the fragile balance between personal lives and professional storytelling in WWE. It struck a nerve because performers depend on absolute trust with those closest to them. Triple H steps. The situation escalated so quickly that Triple H was called to intervene. Witnesses describe Seth trying to calm things by painting the situation as an emotional outburst. But Becky wasn't backing down. Insiders suggest that she instead turned her frustrations outward, addressing not only her marriage, but also her perception of how WWE as a whole had handled her career. At the heart of the matter, at its core, Becky's emotion was about family. Multiple witnesses recall her breaking down when discussing how any personal split might affect her daughter, before channeling that emotion into fierce determination. She reportedly made it clear that her child would remain her top priority, no matter what negotiations or professional pressures came her way. A power couple in question fans have long celebrated Seth and Becky as a real-life power couple who managed to balance success inside and outside the ring. If even part of these reports is accurate, that narrative has been shattered. What seemed like a fairy tale romance may have been more complicated than anyone realized, and the emotional cost is now playing out behind the scenes. What this means for WWE. Beyond the personal drama, this incident sheds light on the larger culture of WWE. The company's reliance on blending real relationships into storylines puts enormous pressure on performers to maintain a flawless public image. When reality collides with that image, the consequences can be explosive. Insiders are calling for WWE to provide better support systems for talent caught in personal crises instead of relying on damage control. The human cost. At the center of all this are two people who have given their lives to wrestling, and a child whose well-being should come first. Becky's emotional eruption was not just about career frustrations, but about protecting her role as a mother and as an independent performer. Seth, too, is facing a public and private challenge unlike any before. Both now must navigate the difficult path of separating personal lives from the roles fans see on television. A story still developing. This isn't the Becky Lynch or Seth Rollins fans are used to seeing on TV. This is the raw reality of two individuals under immense strain. How WWE handles this situation will say a lot about its values. For fans, it's a reminder that behind the bright lights and scripted matches are real human beings, facing struggles as intense as any storyline.